What is a soul ascension? Many of my clients, in fact, all of us will go through a soul ascension, at least one, in a lifetime. And they'll say, what does that mean? Well, first of all, astrologically, if you're interested in that, it means Pluto. This is a download. This is information I received from source when I started astrology in my early 20s and in past lives. And that is when Pluto positively hits your chart. Sometimes a conjunction, always a trine or a sextile. Okay, I'm Holly from Askhollyhall.com. I'm a parapsychologist. I'm a master astrologer, myriad of modalities, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, clairvoyant, remote viewing, and I am a total, complete life coach with my clients using all these modalities. Hey, you want to really help me out? I have hundreds and thousands of people watch my videos, but many of them don't like or subscribe. If you could like this right now or subscribe, I would be forever in your debt. And I'll continue to pour out free information. Now let's get back to the video. Back to soul ascensions. Soul ascensions usually last about 2 years. They can last a little bit less, just by a couple of months, or a little bit more. And when you're going through this, it's a type of graduation. The way that I explain it to others is, let's say you sign up to go to school. And this school is a 2-year or 4-year program. Your understanding is when you sign on that dotted line and you pay the money and you start your classes, that within a 2-year, 4-year period, you will graduate with a BA or a diploma and a degree. When you get that diploma and that degree, you are graduating from that. And therefore, you can now go on and produce to the world or support the world in some way your modality that you went to school for. That's exactly what a soul ascension is. So you've graduated a period of your life, and now you're able to move on. Sometimes it doesn't feel like a graduation because it feels like getting fired from a job, quitting a job, leaving a marriage, dumping a bunch of friends, leaving your hometown, leaving your family, separating yourself from people, things, and places and events and circumstances that no longer serve you, and you do not want to pack them in your suitcase to move on to the next journey. They're not part of your next journey. Many of them may just sit stagnant. They may be a part of that journey, but not a part that's really going to affect you or hold you back any longer. So at the beginning of a soul ascension, that's what it feels like. By the end of the soul ascension, because this is about a 2-year process, you will hopefully have graduated. But that's okay if you haven't. Because if you haven't graduated, you most likely did a very minute part of graduating, and the next ascension or a soul rebirth will kind of kick you in the arse to get you going. Hope you understand what a soul ascension is now. I'm Holly from Askhollyhall.com. Namaste. What is a soul rebirth? My clients ask this all the time, and we have at least one soul rebirth in a lifetime. I'm Holly from Askhollyhall.com. I'm a parapsychologist and a master astrologer with a background education in philosophy, psychology, neuro-linguistic programming, past life regression, hypnosis therapy, and NLP. And I'm a total, complete life coach for my clients. So a soul rebirth, not easy. Not easy at all. The less work that you've done on yourself, the more challenging it can be. Think about it this way. It's very similar to somebody says, hey, you got to run a few miles. It's a race. And there are people that will train for it, and they've worked out for it, and they're strong, and they're going to do fairly well with this race. But those who did nothing, they're going to struggle. They're going to suffer. They may finish the race, but it may take them a long time to finish, and they may be last in line, and it's going to be more difficult for them. And the lesson they're going to learn is either I'm not running this race again, or when I do run the race, I'm going to make sure I'm more prepared. Well, that's what a soul rebirth is about. If you go through an entire soul rebirth, which is also can be like a soul ascension, you can check out my other video on that, 2 years, little less, little more, depending. You'd have to go to a professional astrologer to know. Now, I do Sidereal astrology, which is a combination of Vedic and Western astrology, leaning more towards Eastern philosophy. The understanding that a soul rebirth is that you no longer need behavioral patterns and limiting beliefs and people associated with that, events or situations associated with that any longer. You know that you need to let these go in order to move forward, in order to free yourself of pain or suffering of different types, emotionally, body, mind, and soul. And in order to do this, it may happen to you, which I say for you, but it may feel like it's happening to you because your partner is leaving you, your kids are acting out, your job becomes suddenly more difficult because a new boss comes in and makes it quite challenging. Your body starts to tell you, I'm suffering. You need to change some of your habits. Difficult things happen to make you realize, I have to change something. I got to quit this job or stand up to myself with my boss without fear. I got to change my habits. I got to let go of those friends that are really not supporting me. Or I got to let go of some old habits in order for me to be able to move on, or limiting beliefs. And this can take the 2 years or so. I try to help my clients, and usually it works. I help my clients to do this faster so that they can benefit more when the cycle is over. It doesn't speed up the cycle at all, but it means that you will benefit more at the end of the cycle than so it means that you could win first place at the race and not be totally exhausted and be pumped to do it again. You know what I mean? So I help my clients with this process. A soul rebirth is temporary. It doesn't last forever. So you may know someone who's going through this. And it's good to understand what they're going through. Because it may seem like suddenly I have a husband as, who is that? I don't want to stay married to you. Or your kids are suddenly acting out of sorts. And you're asking yourself, what did I do wrong? What can I do right? How can I fix this? Same thing with a work situation or your physical body. But if you understand what they're going, or their physical body, if you understand what they're going through and why they're going through it, you can support them without taking it personally. Hey, you want to really help me out? I have hundreds and thousands of people watch my videos, but many of them don't like or subscribe. If you could like this right now or subscribe, I would be forever in your debt. And I'll continue to pour out free information. Now let's get back to the video. I hope this has helped you on your soul's journey. Namaste.